Do you know where to find things in your business? Do you have like these workflows that everyone talks about? What about the task management systems? Do you put your notes in all the places? Do you have your calendar organized? Like, there are so many things that need to be put into place as a foundation in your business, and so many people don't do it. Hello, I am Carolee Galt, and I am a productivity strategist for ADHD and neurodivergent entrepreneurs for your business, your household, and your life, because they're ultimately always intertwined. And so I am here today to talk to you about those foundational systems that every business needs, and how I ultimately didn't have those in the beginning, and why now I stress it so much, because it has been a game changer to have those systems in place. Now, here is my story, and then I'm going to tell you some of the systems that you need to have in place in order to get moving in your business. And if you can do it before you scale really, really fast, which happens to a lot of us, and then the bottom falls out, you are going to be setting yourself up for a much more success faster, and you're going to be able to grow more easily in that way. Okay? About 1.5 years ago, the bottom fell out of my business. I was doing amazing. I started out as a solo virtual assistant. Within 3 months, I was scaling to an agency, hiring a small team, and having work come in so fast that I couldn't even train the people well enough to be able to get the things out the door on time without me just doing it myself. And then I was working 60+ hours a week, trying to get all of it done. And then most of my clients were coming from referrals. And once you have a really good referral source, like, it can go really, really fast, right? And that's what was happening. And I was super excited as a new business owner. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so great at this. Like, I was genuinely excited. I was stressed out. But I was like, I am made to be a business owner. And then suddenly everything stopped. And that scared me. My referral source had dried up. I was delivering things late because I couldn't do it all myself. I didn't have systems in place to automate next to anything. And I was seriously just burnt out. Now, I needed to bring in that revenue, though. I needed to pay my bills. I needed to pay my business expenses at the very least. So what did I do? Well, I did something that scared the crap out of me, I'll be honest. And I decided to I didn't stop promoting my business, but I kind of took a step back. Like, how do I want this to actually go? Do I want this business to continue to grow out of control if I start actually marketing, which I wasn't doing because I had all the referral sources and I already had too much work to do? So of course I'm not going to actually be marketing actively because I didn't have the time. So since I wasn't marketing, I didn't have anything else coming in after that referral source had dried up. So with that said, I had to step back. Like, I needed to figure out what my marketing was going to look like. I had to figure out what my systems and workflows and processes and what my team, which I had to let go, also was going to look like. Like, what was the future going to look like of this business that had scaled so fast I didn't even have time to think? I realized I didn't know a lot about business. As a first-time business owner, there are a lot of things that we need to know and a lot of things that we probably do wrong. Still things I'm probably doing wrong. But, we're learning, right? So what I did was I invested in a mentor that I felt aligned with for me being a virtual assistant, okay? Now, as you guys know, I'm not a virtual assistant anymore in its full capacity, but I digress. So I invested in a pretty large scale program, enough that it scared me a lot. Okay. But that was the decision that I wanted to make at that point because I needed results fast. I was going to take the action. I just needed direction and I was going to run full force. Okay. Now, I was thankful that I actually had my husband, who was able to, during this process, be able to pay the majority of the bills and keep things flowing as far as finances go. I was able to focus on growing my business while he took care of most of it. And so I was very lucky there. However, I do have a part-time job to kind of help with all that as well. So it's not quite as much stress on him, but I can still focus on my business, which is our ultimate goal, to have that down the road and him not to have to work full-time in his full-time job, okay? So I invested in the mentor. to really get my business moving. Man, do you know what I found out? I knew nothing about business and how to run it, how to set up systems, how to do anything, how to even have a task management system. Like, I used a planner from high school and a Google Calendar. Like, those were the only real task management systems I'd ever used. And those are like basic AF, man. Okay. So I had to dig deep into how to do social media, how to like even do a lot of the things I was doing as a virtual assistant to like really dig deep and, improve things. So with this mentor, I was able to do a lot of those things in her course that I had and really get moving. Now, did you know that there's a lot of things that you have to know about yourself and your business? I like the saying of is become an entrepreneur and get paid to work on your personal growth or something like that, right? I have no idea who said it. I read it somewhere and I was like, oh my gosh, yes. Okay. So you had to work on yourself. There's these money blocks and there's these systems you have to put into place and you have to have a brand and you have to, and I'm just talking about the systems part, right? The foundational systems that people tend to look over. They're like, I have this service and someone, here's my service. Someone come pay me. That's what I did in the beginning. Okay. But if you don't have longevity because you don't have your brand, you don't have your marketing, it's going to dry up eventually. Okay. Unless you're just really good at what you do. Then kudos to you. That was not my case. So, in that time, I had offered virtual assistant services and I realized that 90% of my clients had ADHD. 90%. Okay? That is astounding to me. Little did I know that we tend to attract each other. And I was diagnosed with ADHD almost a year ago as I'm recording this. Okay? So I was able to do a little bit more pinpointed research and start modifying some things in my own business, in my own life. And things went boom, and clarity. And my clients were starting to get way more results as I was working them through actually figuring out these systems and their brand and what they wanted to offer people. Because it did come natural to me after I knew what the F I was doing. I just needed some mentorship going on there. So as I was moving through that, I realized that my clients didn't need me to do services for them. Now, there are clients out there, but the audience that I had and have at this time, most of them are not ready to hire a virtual assistant, especially not full time. They're just trying to get the foundations in place for their business, knowing where they want people to move, and just how to focus. And so that's where the productivity strategist part came into play. I was already doing all the behind the scenes stuff for people. Well, I can teach it. I know it like I could say it in my sleep. And I have the patience for it. Okay? So I ended up moving more into what you would consider the coaching space. And being able to walk people through how to do this themselves for those people that can't just, spend hundreds of dollars on a virtual assistant to do it for them or to do certain things that they just don't excel at, right? We're able to move them through it. It's going to be at a slower pace because they're doing it themselves while also running their business, taking care of their kids, all the things. But we had some place to start, and then they have the encouragement and the accountability to keep moving forward right then. Okay? So that is how the productivity impact actually became a thing. The company used to be called Galt Virtual Agency when it was just simply VA services, and then it morphed into something I could never have imagined. And so we had to rename because we were no longer a virtual assistant agency, at least solely, and we were created to bring an impact, right, when it comes to the productivity space. So we renamed and rebranded to the Productivity Impact, and now we are coaching and VA services space, and we just simply love to make things fun, create safe places, bring people together in a community where they can relate to the people that are also in there because they either have ADHD or they're neurodivergent in general. Okay, so if you want help with those systems, those foundational pieces, I got you covered. But I did promise you, after my long drawn out story, if you're still here, I love you and you're amazing and you were totally an action taker for that point, and you need to really seriously consider joining this program, because I love to support you, and if you've stuck around, then I want to support you. Okay? You're in it for the long haul. So these are some of the foundational systems that you want to have in place when you're starting your business. For one, you want to have your business legal. You want to have some financial accounting of some sort, right? So you want to have a business bank account, or at least an account that only has solely your business stuff ran through it at the very least, okay? We don't want things all mixed in together. And then some sort of accounting, which I use Wave, which is free. And I actually love it more than QuickBooks, okay? Which I was paying for in the beginning. You need a task management system. I currently use Sunsama. Okay, this is a paid planner, but I love it. It's a central hub for everything for my business. And then we expand out into a project management system. You choose one, pick it, stay with it, learn it. You're going to need something that's a website, or where you can have your services listed at the very least. People need to find you somewhere. You need to have a place for them to pay. And that is pretty much it. You need to have your business legal and a bank account with accounting software. You need to have a task management system with a project management somewhere. You need to have a website or some place for people to be able to pay you, but also be able to see what your services are. Those are like the foundations, the bare minimum that you need. And then of course you also need a system for marketing. Okay, the actual marketing of your things. How are you going to get the word out to your audience? How are you going to build your audience? There's so many different ways to do these things, but those are the basics. If you don't have those in place at the very least, and then you don't know what your brand is, and you don't know like who you're marketing to, if you don't know like exactly how you help someone, you're going to struggle. Ask me how I know. And you're going to want to invest in some sort of mentor to be able to help you with these things. Okay? So if you're someone that really needs someone to just understand your ADHD or neurodivergent brain and be able to communicate with you and create a space where you feel safe to actually communicate back, then the Hyperfocus Treehouse, which is my group mentorship program, might be the perfect place for you. It might be the perfect place, because we talk business, we talk household, and we talk life in general, right? So we get a very well-rounded thing going in here, and then we struggle with implementing and executing as a whole for many different reasons. And so the entire focus of the Treehouse is getting those systems in place if that's the space you're in, but also just keeping you moving, the accountability on what you need to do for your business, the clarity you need for your business, right? The planning that you need for your business, the workflows that you need for your business. This is a full free reign. The whole purpose is to keep you moving and productive and working with your brain. If that is a space that you want to see yourself in, it's your lucky day. We do have a Jumpstart program to get you started. And you can find that in the description below. And you can try it out. All the things, you get full access. And you can really test it out before you make that commitment. Because I want you to make that commitment intentionally. I want you to make sure that that's the type of commitment you want to make for your business, your family, in this season of your life. I don't want it to be in haste. I want you to really be like, how can I work this into my life? And how is it going to benefit me as a person, but also my family, right? I want you to absolutely love that investment into your business, okay? Which we also, right? It overflows into your life as well. If you like this video though, make sure you like it. Subscribe if you want to hear more things like this, and check out some of the other videos that are already on this channel.